Hey there, Seb by the REALTOR here. In this video, I'm going to explain how your home's price has everything to do with the law of supply and demand. If you want to understand how the law of supply and demand affects your ability to sell your home for a maximum price, you definitely want to watch this video. You know, a lot of people don't really think that much about the law of supply and demand, but everybody all across the entire globe is familiar with it. And I don't care if you're like in Cuba, or you're like in communist China, or if you're like in Soviet Russia. I think if you had gone back in time to like the 1950s or the 1960s or the 1970s and asked any person on the street, even in these like die-hard communist countries, if they understand what is the law of supply and demand and do they feel that it is a real thing, I imagine that if you had asked those people, they would tell you, like people would tell you today, that the law of supply and demand is a real thing. So the law of supply and demand, it's really simple, and it's universal. It is a law. And so the law of supply and demand, I say, it's like the law of gravity. A law of gravity, it exists everywhere for everybody, in all places, in all times, past, present, and future. There is the law of gravity, and it works the same, and it applies to everyone in every situation. The law of supply and demand is just like the law of gravity. It's a law. It works everywhere. It applies to all times, past, present, and future. It applies to good real estate markets and bad real estate markets. It applies to every city, state, country, zip code, street, block, neighborhood. The law of supply and demand affects real estate prices everywhere, regardless of time or place or the kind of property that is being sold. And what that means is that the law of supply and demand affects your home's value too. And we can see that every day, or at least every month. So very typically, I will go back and I will look at, how the housing market did in a particular area, for the prior month. And one thing I like to look at is how many homes sold over list price. And actually, it's usually like a lot. It's usually like at least like 25% of homes sold over asking price. But in a really hot market, it can be as many as 60 or sometimes even 70% of homes are selling over asking price. And why is that? That is because the demand is so great and the supply is so low because in a hot market, demand will be high. It pushes prices up. But here's the thing, is that even in a cold market, the law of supply and demand, it still exists. It's still a thing. So in a cold market, you can certainly put your home up for sale, and you can certainly have many, many people bidding on your home, driving the price up. Now, the coldest market that anyone can remember is actually the 2007-2008 mortgage crisis, when the whole economy tanked and home prices went down by anywhere from like 30% to like 70%, depending on where you're looking in the Greater Bay Area. So certainly a catastrophic collapse of real estate prices. But in that time period, actually, would it surprise you to learn that in the worst real estate market in history, many houses were getting multiple offers and selling wildly over list price? Yes, it's true. Even in the worst real estate market that anybody could ever remember, many homes had multiple offers and routinely sold far over list price. And the reason for that is because even though demand was weak, there was enough demand at these lower prices that these homes were being listed for sale, that the demand came in and actually drove the prices up far over list price. So it doesn't matter what kind of real estate market it is, if it's a hot market or a cold market, and it doesn't matter what kind of house it is, because a lot of these houses that were being sold in the 2007, 2008, and 9, and 10, and 11 mortgage crisis, many of these were bank-owned foreclosure homes. They had been abandoned. They had been neglected. They were in many cases in very poor condition, yet nevertheless, they were still attracting multiple offers and selling way over asking price. And that is because the law of supply and demand kicked in. While there were a lot of homes for sale, there were a lot more homes for sale back then than there are today. Certainly maybe 2 or 3 or even 4 times as many homes for sale back then as there currently are. The demand for homes at the prices that were being asked was so strong that it had the effect of driving prices up far, far over asking price, even in this terrible real estate market, even considering that those homes were in very bad condition, they still got these crazy bidding wars because the law of supply and demand never fails. It doesn't matter what kind of real estate market it is. It doesn't matter the neighborhood. It doesn't matter the condition of the home. The law of supply and demand always dictates how much you're going to be able to sell your home for. So if you are trying to get a really, really high sale price for your home, you can exploit the law of supply and demand. You can leverage it. You can tilt the law of supply and demand in your favor by setting a price which is attractive to the market, where it seems there is a limited supply of homes in that price range. Lower prices always attract more buyers, always, because there are more buyers, lots more buyers in lower price ranges than in higher price ranges. And when you have a greater demand from buyers and a lower supply of goods for them to buy, what's going to happen? We know what's going to happen. The price is going to go up. So use the law of supply and demand in your favor. Tilt the market in your direction. Get multiple offers. Get many buyers bidding on your home, and your price will shoot up dramatically. Now, is price the only way that you can drive demand for your home? Obviously, price is not the only way that you can drive demand for your home. There are certain things which you can do to your home that will actually increase the demand for it. Now, we all know that buyers have a preference for homes which are beautiful, that are new, that are in move-in ready condition, that smell great, that look great, that are very fashionable, where they can, don't have to do anything. They can just move right in, unpack, and start living their great life, have their friends over for a barbecue the first weekend they move in. Everybody wants houses like that. There is a strong demand for houses like that. So there are many things which you can do to your house that will actually increase the demand for your property without needing to lower the price. But they are not maybe the things that you're thinking of. A lot of people will think, well, in order to get a really great price, I'm going to need to remodel my kitchen or remodel my bathroom or do all these other things to the house so that you can increase the price of your home. And I don't deny that, doing a brand new kitchen and remodeling all your bathrooms and doing all these other really nice improvements will increase the sale price of your home, but will they cost effectively increase the sale price of your home? So if you were to spend like $65,000 on a brand new kitchen, would it increase the price of your home by $65,000? Well, actually, statistically, the answer is no, it would not. Actually, usually kitchen remodels and bathroom remodels and many other typical home improvement projects don't actually increase the price of your property beyond the cost of those things that you do to it. So, for example, you might spend $65,000 doing a kitchen remodel, but it might only increase the price of your home by $40,000. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but one of those reasons is that you already had a kitchen. That kitchen was already worth a whole lot of money. So by putting a new kitchen in, you are first destroying the value of your old kitchen because you're removing it and putting a new kitchen in, and you just can't increase the price of your home beyond the cost of that new kitchen. So in most cases, it doesn't actually make any sense to drive the price higher by doing those kinds of very expensive improvements to your property because it just won't pencil out. But there are a lot of things you can do which are a lot cheaper than putting a new kitchen in that will actually drive your price higher. And I find that the things that really have the biggest bang for the buck are eliminating things that buyers hate, right? There's a lot of things that buyers just don't like. They don't like dark houses, right? So anything you can do to increase the amount of natural light in your house, like removing, window coverings, removing those trees or bushes that may be blocking light, that is going to pay off. Any kind of smell or odor in your home, like tobacco or pets or like mold or any of that stuff, buyers just hate that. It's on a very visceral level. They really do not like those kinds of smells. So anything you can do to make your home smell fresh and clean and natural, not like perfume, but fresh and clean and natural, is definitely going to boost the sale price of your home and very cost effectively as well. Another thing you can easily do is like removing all the clutter. Many homes, especially homes that have been lived in for 20 or 30 or 40 years or more, they'll have like a lot of clutter in them, just stuff that gets in the way of buyers seeing your house. And I have a golden rule, and that is that if buyers can't see it, they won't pay for it, right? They can't see the value. They can't feel the value if all your stuff is in the way. Getting rid of all that stuff is actually very, very inexpensive. You can usually do it yourself, or you can just farm it out to somebody else and you can get that work done very inexpensively. So there are many, many things you can do that won't break the bank, that are very quick, very easy, and relatively painless to do, that will in fact increase demand for your home without lowering the price. Of course, a great thing to do is to do all those things, get that low-hanging fruit, and set a very low price for your home. Because when you do that, you are doing everything that you can to really drive demand for your home, and you will have a plethora of offers. You will have a crazy bidding war for your home if you set the price appropriately, and that will inevitably drive the price very, very high. And not only that, you'll get great, wonderful terms for the sale of your house, making it extremely convenient for you to get your home sold with a minimum of hassle and fuss and stress. All right, well, that is all I have for this video. I hope you did enjoy watching it. And if you did enjoy watching it, I'm guessing that you might also enjoy some of these videos over here. These are some of the most popular videos here on my YouTube channel, so please do check those out. All right, that's all I have for this video. Thanks so very much for watching, and please stay tuned.